I always remember this story when I was a kid about some bloke. He had throat cancer, right? And his doctor said, carry on with your life, right? It's not going to be that good, but just carry on. But don't eat meat. And he was like, oh, I love meat. He's like, yeah, but just don't, you know, have your veg, keep yourself strong, but don't be eating that. Anyway, he was fed up because he loved his meat, and his wife was feeling a bit sorry for him one day, and thought, you know, I'm sick of him looking fed up and that. All he wants is some meat, for God's sake, give him some meat. So she goes to the butcher's, gets him a big piece of, like, steak and what have you. He can't believe it. He's like, oh, brilliant, cheers for that. Anyway, he's got the meat on his plate, just about to tuck in, and the cancer comes out from his throat.
What?
No, it's something, I know, it sounds really weird, but it's something that I was told about years ago when I was growing up.
What are you talking about?
It was just some bad illness, some cancer thing, and it sort of, it was coming out waiting for the meat. It was sort of dying.
Again, a lot of your medical knowledge is from...
It's from the film Alien.
So this guy with throat cancer, okay,
Yeah.
As opposed to it being a disease of the cell...
It was like a living...
The alien. It was alien.
So it was the animal. It was the little animal cancer.
That's why
what
he
are you
wasn't allowed to
talking
eat
about?
meat. He wasn't allowed to eat meat.
So it's sitting there. So it's actually sitting there and saying, "Why? I'll tell you what I'd have done if I'd have had some cancer in my throat." I go, there you go, rid of that. What are you talking about? So what happened?
He choked to death on this thing, and the wife was like, "Oh, I shouldn't have given him the meat after all." Just
That's
listen
a
to
bollock
your- listen
story.
to your doc- It's all. There's loads of weird stuff like that
There
that
is.
happens in medical stuff.
Well, the terrible thing is, if you got testicular cancer and you eat meat, your bollocks come out of your trousers, and they're all over the plate,
Yeah.
and you have to be asked to leave the restaurant.
Get straight into it. A band from the Conga have won the Best Newcomers in a Radio 3 competition. They use pots and pans for instruments. It says that the Conga is a poor, sad place. So why do people do that happy dance at the end of parties called the Conga?
Right, one is the Congo. There's no place called the Conga. They come from a place called the Congo. Conga! Get out, you're such a...
Met Suzanne at Euston Station. I said I would sort out the tea tonight, so I called the curry house. The fella couldn't understand me. I asked for 2 poppadoms. He kept saying, how many? I kept saying 2. He still couldn't understand. I said 1 more than 1. He understood. When we picked up the food and took it home, there were 5 poppadoms in the bag.
Oh, God! Oh, God.
There is a restaurant somewhere that sells knobs to eat.
No, there's not.
There is.
No, there's not.
No, there is.
It says that women can't eat too many of them, and if you want a seal's knob for dinner, you have to book in advance.
Right, it's gobbledygook. This is the ramblings of a madman again.
It's a trend, he writes. It won't last long. It'll be like hummus. Called Ricky and asked what the difference is between the mind and the brain.
Yeah, he did.
That's a hell of a phone call
Yeah,
to get.
unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Ricky did explain, but I can't remember what he said. I wondered at what age you are when the mind kicks in. Okay. Ricky changed the subject and said there is an island called Spider Island. There's nothing but spiders on it. A bloke went to visit the island and said there was 1,000 types of spider in one tree.
What do you think about that? What do you think of an island that's just full of spiders?
I don't know, because you need spiders. I don't know what they do, but they say a world without spiders, like, wouldn't be good. But they sort of do something. There's something about if you did get rid of them all, it would have an effect.
Well, of course it would. Get rid of anything, it'd have an effect.
Not everything though. Like I've said, you know, jellyfish and what have you.
Well, no.
It's 97% water or something.
Yeah.
So how much are they doing? Just give them another 3%, make them water. And that's more useful.
Give them another 3% and make them water. Oh, God.
Went into the gadget shop today. It's full of stuff that we don't need. Gadget used to be a good word that made you think of James Bond with all his gadgets. The best thing I could find in the shop was a clock that ran on potatoes. We are definitely going backwards.
I agree. Well, who cares about that? You know, a little electrical impulse, so what?
Had a night out with old schoolmate. Found out about more of the other lads I went to school with. One is living underground.
What do you mean living underground. Not like a mole. Do you
Yeah.
mean he's got a basement, or do you mean he digs a hole every night?
My mate went to visit him and he said it had been raining really heavily and that, and it's all the rain's running in.
What do you mean he went to visit him? He went down here. What's that? That's an hole in the ground. Yeah, come in.
He just said, "Oh, come round to us," and he's living underground.
What do you mean he's living underground?
He's happy down there. He said it was really muddy and what have you. He said he won't be going back to visit him.
I believe this, though. I believe someone he went to school with now lives in a hole. That doesn't shock me.
You spent far too long with him, if that, now you're just happy to accept.
I totally accept that. I'd be surprised if I walked round where he lived that there weren't more people living in holes. His dad wanted to throw his budgie on the fire.
True.
His budgie died, his dad said, let's throw it on the fire. I mean, his mum, what did your mum do?
She just was worried about the other bird that was left, so she made it a bit of company by getting a rock, getting a feather off the dead budgie, sticking it on the rock, putting it in the cage.
So, a man living in a hole
It's not
is
unusual.
not that bizarre. Right, carry on.
Watched a film about Hitler. Didn't watch all of it as it was subtitled. Can't be doing with that. Asked Suzanne if cinemas are full of deaf people when they're showing subtitled films. She said, shh, I'm trying to watch it. I said, what do you mean, shh? It's subtitled, I can make as much noise as I want.
Yeah.
She's a lucky, lucky woman.
You must be a joy to watch a subtitled film. I mean, the concentration is up there already. It's not as easy as when you're hearing it, because you read things, but it's possible. If you had a buffoon going, I'm just going to sit here and make as much noise as I want, what's the point of that?
Yeah.
Do that in a cinema. Just walk into a subtitled film and go, right, everybody, let's all do the Congo.
We're having our bathroom done. The bathroom man was round at 9 this morning. We weren't allowed to use the shower because it all had to be bone dry before we could use his waterproof filler. Not that waterproof then. Went for a brew with Ricky. We talked about monkeys and how they are closer to humans than they are to apes, and how bees will drink cider to get off their heads. Now and again there is a bee that lets the drinking get in the way of the work, and other bees sting it to death. Blimey.
Yeah, well, there are bees. They love a drink, and they will drink pure alcohol. They love getting off it, and they fall down and they're drunk, right? But some bees get addicted in the same sort of percentage as human addiction. Like 10% of bees, they can't get enough of it. They take ethanol, they take cider apples and that, and then when they get back to the hive, they go in a bit pissed, and they've got guard bees, and they go, "Come on, we've all had a drink."
Bouncers.
Yeah. They sort of are, right? And they push them away, and push them away again. Then the next time they go, right, I've had enough. And they give it a good hiding. And Carl couldn't get over this. I saw his face, but I knew that he was thinking of that bee with sort of like eyes rolling around his head, a little bit belligerent with his jacket on backwards.
Yeah.
And the bouncer going, come on, son, we've all had enough. Let's move away,
Yeah.
move away.
You're not coming in, right? You're wearing trainers.
Yeah, you're wearing 3 pairs of trainers, and I'm sick of it,
But what I did find out, because I went home and went on the computer trying to find out about drunk bees knocking about, they're not actually meant to fly. It's only because
Well,
they don't
can
know.
fly.
Well, no, but if they were told that you're not actually designed to fly, they wouldn't bother.
No, this is that thing that goes around that aerodynamically, on the face of it, looking at the size of the wings and the body proportions and everything, that it's a surprise that they can fly. Okay, it's not that no one's ever told them they can't, and as soon as someone tells me not meant to fly, they all fall out of the sky going, "Oh, what are we doing?" Like in a cartoon.
No, but it's something about the confidence and that. At the moment, nobody's saying
It's nothing to
to
do with the confidence. There is no such thing as confidence in bees. A bee never loses its nerve. That's not why it drinks. Because what are you drinking for? I'm just not confident anymore. There's no point to turn to the bottle. I can't go up there again. You're an idiot. Here's an interesting fact. If the frog annoyed you, this might annoy you. A blind chameleon will still change colour to match its surroundings. You're aware that the chameleon can...
Yeah, whatever it sits on.
Yeah.
But then what happens when you put one of them on a mirror? No, does it get stressed out or what? What's it copying?
Well, it probably doesn't need to copy anything because it looks at itself and it goes, "Oh, look, looks like that. It's brilliant. God, that was fast. That's the fastest I've ever done that. That is brilliant."
So they can go any colour. There's nothing. You can put them on anything, and they'll go to the thing.
I don't want you to have a chameleon because you'd just be trying to see what it could and couldn't
Try and
do.
catch it out.
Oh no, yeah.
Pop it on some tartan.
But again, say like the frog thing, right?
Pop it on the telly.
Yeah.
Couldn't do it fast enough.
Why does the chameleon need that skill of copying a colour? Because at the end of the day, that's mainly sticking in the woods, isn't it? By trees, by grass.
Right.
Why can't it just stay green? That's all it needs. Those colour changes are only for camouflage, aren't they?
I don't know. Some of them are for attraction. Some of them to show moods, anger.
No, but I just think we're encouraging them. You see, maybe this is evolution or whatever, but at the end of the day, because they can change colour, they're wandering out of their area. They can be wandering about, you know, through a car park and everything, just because they'll go, well, I don't want to get seen, change the colour of concrete. Whereas...
Or into the colour of a Fiat Punto.
But they should just stay green. Stay green, right? Stay in the woods and stay safe.